Hey, what's going on, guys? It's JCross2K here, and we are back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about two possible trades that will shift the NBA if they happen. And first off, we're going to talk about Carmelo Anthony to the Rockets. Now, according to your basic NBA free agency conspiracy theorist, Woj, he says that they're trying to work out a 4-team trade. Like, this was like about 20, maybe 30 minutes ago. I got the notification. But if this does happen and he goes to the Rockets, I mean, that this team is automatically championship. Maybe Western Conference Finals. Hopefuls. Everyone hopes for it. I'm trying to think of the word here. Western Conference Finals. Almost lock in. Obviously, I still have the Thunder, Spurs, and all of them, but they are automatically in the talks for the Western Conference Finals. So that's something right there that you need to know right there. Because I mean, just think about it. You have Chris Paul run the point, passing around, and then he can pass it to James Harden, and this is your starting lineup as well, with Melo, and he can either pass it to Melo if Melo's guarded, pass it to James Harden. You know, that gives them two options there, and then they have to watch Chris Paul on the drive. So that gives three. I mean, it's going to be an offensive super team, and if they had good defense, I would say they're finals contenders, to be honest. Now, obviously, Melo and Paul are getting old and probably are not as good as they were and are declining, but I still think they can put it together 2-3 years. I think they still have 2-3 years left. Well, Melo maybe like a year or two left to be, a factor in this league. I say Paul still got 3 or 4, but still, I mean, these guys, they're still good. James Harden obviously is in his prime, so yeah, we're going to see that. And obviously we got Eric Gordon, Ryan Anderson, and all those guys coming off the bench. I really think it's going to be a great team, and even when if this gives James Harden more time to rest, Chris Paul is going to have to be there a lot, to be honest, since there's no Patrick Beverly. They might be able to find, maybe they'll be able to get Derrick Rose. They get Derrick Rose, they're a finals competitor, but I don't see that happening. But I mean, Chris Paul, he's going to have to play a lot of minutes, which could cause some. I'm not going to say it, but you know what I'm meaning. You know what I'm thinking. But I'm not going to say it. Just so then I'm really superstitious, but I think we could see Chris Paul stay out with the bench squad with Eric Gordon and Carmelo, and they can stay out and they can have good scoring options, or maybe even get Carmelo a break, and then get Chris Paul a break, obviously, and have James Harden run the point guard, and then you can have second quarter. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do with the rotations. You can have Melo and James Harden, or Melo and Chris Paul. You will have to have Chris Paul, James Harden, or Melo out at the same time. And if you have Melo out, you very likely are going to want to have Chris Paul or James Harden out. You don't want to have Melo on his own. That could cause some problems. But yeah, you never know. They could get a good point guard to come off the bench. But yeah, as I see right now, you're going to have Chris Paul or James Harden out there at all times, and Melo can come in as a side piece. And obviously the starting lineup would probably be, you never know, but probably would be Harden, Paul, and Melo. But do remember, this trade has not been finalized yet, or we don't even know the components, like what Houston is giving up. They could be giving up Eric Gordon or Ryan Anderson, all those guys off the bench, Clint Capella, you never know. So we'll just have to wait and see what the trade is, if it does happen. And if the trade does happen, I will have an update video to tell you how the team is. Now on to our number 2 trade that will shake up the NBA. Alright, so the second trade is Kevin Love. There was speculation. Actually, there was an offer: Gary Harris, Trey Lyles, and a pick for Kevin Love. They didn't take it. I still think this is going to happen. I think it will not. I don't think it will happen in the offseason. I think it will happen during the season, before the trade deadline. Very well could happen. Teams that I could see happening: the Celtics. I'll get into them in a little bit. Spurs have been, I've heard a little bit, possibly the Spurs. I don't think they really, want to give up that much. They're not really a trade team. They like building through the draft and all. But still, that is a possibility. I've heard Lakers. I mean, Lakers I could somewhat see happening given a lot of assets to the Cavs, but I don't think that's what they're looking for. But the Celtics right here, they could be the ticket that beats the Cavs. They could beat the Cavs with Kevin Love. Now, hear me out. I know you guys are like, oh, the Cavs are the best team in the East, and yes, they are. But you add Kevin Love to Isaiah Thomas, Gordon Hayward, and Al Horford, and Jaylen Brown. That's a dang squad right there. I mean, you got Kevin Love's a decent defender. Gordon Hayward's a good two-way player. Isaiah Thomas is he's an average defender. He's good at getting steals, though, because he's short, but he's still good at getting steals, which is always good. And so you don't have to worry about having a completely offensive team like the Cavs, basically. Kevin Love was honestly, him and LeBron were the only two. I mean, LeBron's obviously a stellar defender, but Kevin Love is also a decent defender, and Tristan Thompson as well. But you don't have to worry about having a completely offensive team. Also, Warriors are they have two-way Draymond Green and Klay Thompson, but they're kind of offensive Rockets, there's a good one. No defense, but twice the offense, if you've seen that Bleacher Report video. But yeah, you could have obviously your starting lineup, and then you can put in Al Horford in there and Kevin Love to get rebounds with Isaiah Thomas or Gordon Hayward in there shooting with your bench squad. So you can have your three starters, and you can interchange between Gordon Hayward, Kevin Love, and Isaiah Thomas, and you can always have a rebound and Al Horford, but you won't have to have either Al Horford and Kevin Love in the game, and you either want to have to have Kevin Love, Isaiah Thomas, and Gordon Hayward for scoring. So you're likely going to have two at the same time, but you can always rotate that. That's a really good rotation right there. But yeah, this trade could happen to the Celtics. It also could happen to other teams. It's really just going to depend on the Cavs in the end. But it's a lot of speculation right now. But I do believe at the trade deadline, or before the trade deadline, during the season at least, they'll trade him, especially if he doesn't get off to a good start. He had a good start this season and kind of died down, and then had a good finals. But yeah, just keep an eye out for a Kevin Love trade. A lot of rumors. The rumors have actually died down in the past week or so. So that kind of contributes to the fact that I think it's going to happen in this season. Obviously, Woj, your typical NBA free agent conspiracy theorist, has been talking about it a little bit, but yeah, that's all I had to say. Both of these trades, Melo, I think it's going to happen in the coming days, but Kevin Love might take a little bit. But these are the trades that will shake the NBA, could make both teams finals contenders. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below if you think there's anything I missed. And peace out.